Minister of Interior, Mr. Asan Tangara, Mr. Babukar Sow, SSR Project Manager of UNDP, Special Advisor to the Director General of DLEAG, Haji Musambuk, participants, and all protocols duly and respectfully observed. It is with profound appreciation and gratitude that I welcome you all to this very important capacity building training for DLEAG, the Gambia Police Force, State Intelligence Services, the Gambia Armed Forces, Immigration Departments, the Gambia Fire and Rescue Services, and Prison Services, Gender and Child Welfare Units. United Nations Development Program, UNDP, through the Security Sector Reform SSR project, is funding the 5-day training program. The training aims at building the capacity of officers of these very important units on best practices and evidence-based program activities coordinated to the welfare of women, girls, and children, as well as the human rights-related matters. Honorable members of the High Table, ladies and gentlemen, you will all agree with me that this and many other training programs and activities manifest the government and development partners' commitment for a reformed, professional, highly trained, and well-disciplined armed and security services. The Drug Law Enforcement Agency, the Gambia, and other security services are very conscious of their integral role in the maintenance of peace, stability, development, and general well-being of individuals and societies. The League as an institution is tasked with the responsibility of combating drug abuse, illicit drug trafficking, and related crimes, as provided for in the Drug Control Act 2003, revised laws of the Gambia. The Drug Control Act 2003 as a law provides for the regulation of the use and possession of controlled drugs, prohibited drugs, precursors, and matters connected therewith. Without a doubt, this is an enormous task with huge challenges because of the changing dynamics and trends in drug abuse, illicit drug trafficking, and related activities. Drugs do not exist in isolation. There is correlation that the work that all of you do, therefore collaboration and partnership between the armed and security services will make a huge impact in our quest to promote peace, stability by containing and curbing crime. The prevalence of drugs is associated with lots of cross-cutting issues. One such cross-cutting issue is addressing the special needs of women and children. On that basis, the agency set up a specialized unit solely responsible for handling drug-related matters, drug-related cases of women and children. The unit has ever since its formation been relentless in ensuring that the special needs and best interests of women and alleged child offenders are addressed. It continues to collaborate with relevant stakeholders within the armed and security services, women groups, affiliated child welfare organizations, as well as the Department of Social Welfare and Ministry of Women Affairs, Children and Social Welfare. We must therefore celebrate the DLEAG Commissioner of this unit and her team for continued good work. The Department of Social Welfare has been one of our formidable partners in this drive. Their director is a member of the agency's governing board as provided for in Section 151J of the DCA. The previous and present directors have been very supportive. They make meaningful contributions that add value to what we do during board meetings. I will not do justice if I do not also recognize the efforts and support of the hard-working, dedicated, and committed staff of Department of Social Welfare. My officers continuously update me on the support and guidance you provide to them since the formation of this unit. To the command and officers of the Gender, Children, and Child Welfare Unit, your work and daily routine are very pivotal in our quest to bridle drugs and associated menace. The role and function of each operative is equally important. However, yours is very crucial because you handle issues relating to women and children who are the future leaders of this country. What the Gambia becomes tomorrow largely depends on how while we nurture, prepare, and guide our children and youth. Ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to dilate more on the impact of drugs on individuals and societies. The period of adolescence can be very challenging. Without a proper guide, care, and the right information, children and youth can make the wrong choice that can destroy their future or haunt them for the rest of their lives. One such issue that can derail or prevent children and youth from realizing their full potential is illicit drug trafficking and abuse. Drug abuse, illicit drug trafficking, and related organized crime continue to threaten global peace and stability. It is a complex challenge that endangers the health and socio-economic conditions of individuals and societies. Across the globe, it is estimated that in 2020, 275 million used drugs. 275 million people used drugs, and over 36 million suffered from drug use disorders, according to the UNODC World Drug Report. It is also reported by UNODC that in 2019, drug use alone killed almost 500,000 people. The Gambia is not an exemption to this scourge. As operatives working on the ground, you are very much aware of the number of children and youths involved in illicit drug abuse and trafficking, as well as the daunting challenges in addressing these issues. Drugs are destroying health and stealing features. Women, children, and youths remain highly vulnerable and the most affected by this menace. The impact and burden of this menace on families, education, mental health, the public healthcare system, the judiciary, the prisons, and correctional facilities, etc., is enormous. It has led to broken homes, juvenile delinquency, relapse into criminal behavior, the huge financial burden on families, disappointment to parents, and in some instances related to the loss of life. Earlier I mentioned the armed and security services are very much aware of the integral role they play in the maintenance of peace, stability, development, and the general well-being of individuals and societies. If one critically analyzes the priority areas of Government National Development Plan NDP 2018-2021, the success stories registered by the armed and security services in the execution of their mandates is already paying dividend and supporting the realization of all priority areas in the NDP. The overall objective of the NDP is to ensure that there is respect for human rights, good governance, upholding of rule of law, investing and promoting agriculture, health, education, economic development, creating employment, reaping the demographic dividend, etc. None of this can be possible if the environment is not safe and secure. Your work as armed and security services transcends interdiction and legal processes. It is human-centered and also helps realize not only the government's NDP objectives, but all the key components of the Millennium Development Goals, MDGs, and Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, collegated to the welfare of women and children. Therefore, I challenge you to take this training seriously. Remain committed and dedicated always. I will also take this opportunity to thank all those who, in one way or the other, contributed towards making this training possible. We cannot do it all alone. My heartfelt appreciation to the UNDP through the SSR project for supporting this training. There is a lot that we have to do with the mega resources at our disposal. The Child Welfare Unit of DLEAG and other security services need the support and collaboration of local, international, and development partners. Ladies and gentlemen, it is without a doubt that there is ample evidence indicating the correlation between drugs and transnational organized crime. Huge resources is invested in the development of people and nations across the globe. The threat, illicit drug trafficking and abuse posed to the realization of our development agenda should not and cannot be ignored. The global call today is for a balanced, integrated, multi-sectoral approach in solving the world drug problem. The agency DLEAG has developed the first ever drug control strategy, and the government has been supportive in the implementation process. So too are our partners like UNODC and UNDP respectively. Again, there is so much that needs to be done with the mega resources at our disposal. We therefore call on others to complement government efforts and take the lead, especially in the prevention and provision of rehabilitation and care after services for persons affected with substance use disorders. Together, we can make the Gambia a drug-free nation as we envision in our mission statement. I will end my statement with two quotes from former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan of blessed memory. We must do more than talk about our future. We must start to create it now. As narcotic officers empowered by law to combat drugs, how do we create this future now? I will reference another quote from the same person. This quote can guide us on how we start creating that future now. It states, we need to spread the understanding that drugs are illegal because they are a problem, not a problem because they are illegal. Drugs cause health and mental health problems. When addictive, they can spell misery for users and those close to them. When taken intravenously, they can spread deadly diseases, especially HIV and AIDS. When they wreak their devastation, they respect no boundary of income, race, occupation, and geography, unquote. Let us spread this understanding. Let us teach our children values and life skills. Empower them with information to make the right choice. Children and youth need love and support so that they can grow up to be responsible and healthy children. So UNDP, through the SSR project manager, Babukar Shaw, we want to thank you very dearly for organizing this training for officers of my institution and our colleagues from the armed and security services. This will go a long way in helping them to effectively execute their daily assignments, more especially in relation to children and women. We will call on you to continue the support, not only on the training, but in other areas that will make our work easier. Once again, I thank the UNDP for the support and officially declare the training open. Thank you.